Right, so welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another epic podcast. That's right, it's Friday. We're back with a late show. That's right, the late podcast is back. And welcome, everyone. Hopefully, you guys will join us and enjoy this small little podcast for the next hour and a half, depending on how long it takes us to get through the topics. So I just want to say a massive shout out to everybody for joining us. A big shout out goes out to the guys over at YouTube.com. Big shout out goes out to Fred and Thegs. Thank you for joining us over at YouTube. Dude gets the first like, the first comment, and the first view, and claims the crown over at YouTube.com. And also not forgetting those infamous people over at Twitch.tv. We got Spade809 taking the victory royale. Well done to you, Spade. Spade claims the first comment, first view, first like over at Twitch.tv. Well done to you, young man. We're proud of you. We're proud of you for getting on so quickly. Also, we can't start this podcast without saying a massive shout out to the sponsors, as always. Without them, it cannot be possible to do anything that I'm doing right now. So big shout out goes out to Cinch Gaming, CD Keys, and not forgetting those infamous people over at Razor.com. Also, not forgetting the T4 Army merchandise. That's right, we got T4 merch just for you people. So please be sure to go check out the store if you haven't bought anything from there. Maybe you might see something you like and you may make an order. Go have a look right now and support the channel. Also, we've got G2A.com over at Twitch.tv. Keeping it lit, keeping it live with those AAA titles. And not forgetting the infamous G4G and Streamlabs. Keeping those donations lit, live, and streamlined. Straight to the donations hotline. So if you ever want to donate to the live stream, that's the best place to do it. Do it over at Streamlabs or do it over at G4G. That's right. Links, as always, is in the description down below. And you'll find plenty of information down there. So scroll down, have a little looky, and see whatever you find down there might be interesting. Before we begin, we've got a little thing to say. Freddie says hi. He says, "It's Freddie. I'm staying on for the stream." I love you, Freddie. Well done to you. And Spade is also very appreciative of my little shout out. Also, we got Slokal jumps in instantly. Welcome, Slokal. Thanks for joining us over at Twitch.tv. Anyway, we got some interesting topics for you today. But before we talk about the topics, we got a guest. That's right, the usual guest. He's back. He's back. He's back. He's not gonna leave me. He is back. That's right. We got the infamous Exodus D back in the podcast. Welcome, Exodus. Thank you for joining us.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Tazzy, back at it again with another podcast with your boy T4.
Tazzy's back at it again. That's right. So Tazzy's joining us for the foreseeable future. It seems he's not going to be going anywhere. What's up? I don't play BO2, unfortunately. But anyway, topics for today's podcast, everybody. We got Fisher, Indiana, IKEA gun shooting. If you guys didn't hear about it, it's insane. We'll be talking about that very shortly. Also, we've got Trump's Muslim ban, also known as the travel ban. That's right. He's banning those Muslims, and it looks like he was pretty successful. Also, not forgetting the last topic for today's podcast is going to be about RiceGum in Hong Kong. That's right. RiceGum has been done for some racism in Hong Kong. We got a little video to play for you guys for that one. It's going to be quite interesting. Anyway. Let's continue. I'm in year 9 now. Congratulations to you. Right. Anyway, Exodus is with us. We're going to have some fun. Let's get it cracking. Right. What have we got to do? Have we got to do anything? We just got to do a quick little shout out onto the channel so that people come and watch it. And that's that. Done. Right. So anyway, the first topic of the day is from the Independent. That's right. This was reported on by the Independent, and they basically brought this article out, which went actually quite viral. This was heard a lot, all over the place, and basically, it was really interesting about this child that found a loaded gun in an IKEA sofa and fires it in Indiana. That's what happened. It happened in America's in IKEA store, And basically, this was reported on Tuesday, the 26th of June, 2018. And if you guys didn't know, I talk about the news that's already happened. As soon as you forgot about it, that's when I talk about it. I'll bring it up because it's shit that shouldn't be forgotten. Because people are like, oh, this never happened before. Well, actually, it did. Okay, I'm here to prove the fact that it happened so many times that you don't ever realize it. Anyway, so the Independent reported on this. Child finds loaded gun in IKEA sofa and fires it in Indiana. If you are going to carry a firearm on your person, make sure you're under control of it at all times. This was reported on by Carol Schaefer, one of the reporters at the Independent. And basically, this is the breakdown of the story. This is the meat and the bones that you need. This really happened, Freddy. This really happened. A child found a loaded gun in an IKEA sofa and fired it. No one was injured, and the store reportedly stayed open after the incident. Earlier in the day, a customer in an IKEA in Indiana sat down on the sofa to test it. When he got up to keep shopping, the gun was left behind as it fell out of his pocket trouser. A group of children then sat on the sofa and found the gun. One of the children pulled the trigger, firing a single shot. According to Fisher's Police Sergeant Tom Wager, the child was around 6 years old. That's right, not the legal limit of firing a firearm. I can tell you that much. The Hamilton County prosecutor will review the case and will determine if charges should be filed. Most firearms do not require a permit in Indiana, which is an open carry state, meaning firearms can be legally carried in public by the owner. However, handguns do require a permit. Sergeant Wager confirmed to the Independent that the handgun fired in the IKEA did have the required permit. So, in that respect, there was no problems. Okay, it had the required permit, so there's no problems. This is where the story gets a little bit interesting. According to CNN, IKEA's spokesperson said in a statement that customer safety and security is the company's top priority. Yeah, right. Not making money, you know? No, it wasn't terrorist related. We take this incident very seriously, and we have offered the family of the child involved our sincerest apologies. Said the statement. IKEA said it in its statement. It holds regular safety walks and audits and has a strict no weapons policy. The store also said it is cooperating with police in the investigation. Sergeant Wager told local Indiana news channel WTTV that keeping track of your gun is important safety for any gun owner. It's important to remember that if you are going to carry a firearm on your persons, that you make sure you're under control of it at all times. It's just part of gun ownership, responsible gun ownership, he said. There's more to the story. If you guys want to read about it, you're more than welcome to Google it. But that's the meat on the bones. That is the story. That is what happened, okay? This kid found a 6-year-old, found a gun in the back of a sofa that was left by another patron who was testing the sofa, and he decides to fire it in the store. Luckily enough, he was only 6 and only fired one round, and I don't think he knew about Fortnite. He didn't know about Fortnite, thank God, because otherwise he might have taken some extra shots. But that's the story. That is the story. My personal takeaway from this story is this is why I personally think guns shouldn't have never been invented. You know, we should have stuck with rocks and sticks, because that way none of these issues would have ever happened. I told you already, it is not terrorist or gang related. It was a 6-year-old child, Fred. Keep up with the answers, dude. Come on now. And yes, this really happened. And thank you for saying the podcast is your favorite. Thank you. Let's carry on. So my takeaway is that I think guns in general is just, I don't even know where to start. They're just so dangerous. And they say in the wrong hands, but at the same time, I just think in any hands, because someone can go from being completely safe to being unsafe in an instant. Someone could have a bad day at work. They could have a bad argument with somebody else. They might get into some road rage. They might even end up just like, I don't know. They might even just decide to just wake up feeling a bit psychotic. But either way, there's no reason why they can't then execute that loaded gun and start killing everybody. Now, the danger obviously is that with loaded guns, why did the guy not have the safety on? I don't understand. You want to carry guns, fine. You want to say they're safe, no problem. You might want to say the gun does not do the killing. It's an inanimate object. Understand, 100%. But at the same time, right? In the same instance, okay, there is something to do with the gun not having the safety on. I mean, if you're carrying a gun, why would you not have the safety already engaged on the weapon? You know, it's there for a reason. They use the word safety mode for a reason. It means the gun can't be fired by any retard that gets hold of it. So, you know, I think, yeah, there is some things to learn here, but at the same time, I think that there's a real importance to gun safety. If you're gonna be in a country where there is guns around, if you're a gun owner yourself, just do the right thing and put the goddamn safety on. Would it really kill you to put the safety on? I mean, it's just like a button on the side. You just click it down, it's off. You click it up, it's on. It locks the actual magazine, so you can't actually fire around. The trigger becomes disengaged. Anyway, that's my takeaway from it. Let's pass the question off to young Exodus D. Exodus, what's your personal takeaway from this crazy story about a 6-year-old firing a loaded gun in a store?
Does it say what type of store, or is it just a store?
Yeah, no, it was in an IKEA furniture store.
Why? First off, why are they bringing the gun into a store? And how do you forget a gun?
So if you didn't know, right, in Indiana, it's legal for people to carry. It's an open carry state, which means anyone can actually carry a firearm in that state. But the thing is,
I know that, but like,
now there is really two questions here. The first question is that particular IKEA has a no gun policy, which means no one's allowed to carry guns into the store. First one. Second one is the guy who dropped the gun. Fine, he didn't want to test out a sofa and see how springy it is and stuff, but the gun safety wasn't even engaged on the weapon. So the thing is, for me, there's two strikes there. You know, one, you got a retard who's got a loaded gun, and two, you got a store brand IKEA who's not actually following their protocols by maybe having metal detectors in their stores. I don't know, something to secure the fact that it's a no gun zone, so don't carry guns in the store. I don't know, but anyway, that's basically a little extra snippets for you, Exodus. What do you think?
That's just stupid. Like, every single person I've ever known that's had a gun has always had it on safety, unless they were actually like physically firing it, and then the second they're done firing it, they put it back on safety. So why would you just have the safety just off in general?
Like, exactly what I'm thinking.
That's just poor management.
You know what I mean? I mean, the thing is, if you're willing to risk the thing of, you know, you want to be safe, if you can call it that, when you're out with a gun in that loaded gun in your pocket, and you feel it's a form of protection for you against any possible thing that may happen, have the safety on. It's simple gun ownership.
Yeah, because
safety.
If he ever goes to grab that gun and he actually squeezes the trigger, he can shoot himself in the fucking leg.
You know what I mean? Shoot himself in the leg. So the scenario is this, Exodus, is that there was a separate person who had the gun on him. He sat on a sofa and it fell behind the sofa, like in between the actual couch, you know? And this kid sat on it as well. A bunch of kids, it sounds like, sat on it as well. And basically, one of them found the gun and decided to shoot the gun. The irony is that luckily no one was shot. The kid didn't shoot himself, and no one was actually and no one was injured. That's
a relief.
Lucky as hell.
It is.
I mean, a 6-year-old even holding a gun.
Some kids would be so stupid as to like look down the barrel.
Yeah, no, exactly. Is there anything down there? I wonder, you know? And literally, it's... it's very, very, it's scary. It's
It
scary. I
is.
mean, you imagine, right? Carrying a gun as well. You'd feel surely there was like something missing
Yeah,
from
at
your
least
pocket.
there's got to be some sort of weight.
There must be a weight to it, right? You must have felt like, oh, I don't have that thing in my back pocket that I had a little while ago because my pocket feels extremely light. Surely. I mean, what was it? Was this a plot? Was this like a black flag thing? I don't know. But anyway, this is a story. I mean, Exodus. I mean, what do you personally think? What do you think? What sort of steps? Not even steps. What sort of precautions could have been applied to this particular case? Do you think?
Have the safety on.
Yeah.
For IKEA to have metal detectors to like detect if there's some sort of illegal weapon or something that shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the thing is, yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, and if the person that's going there that has the gun know that there's no guns allowed in that store, just leave it in your car.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
it's gonna be there when you get back.
I completely get that. It totally makes sense what you're saying. It's just ironic that no one is using their brain, you know?
It really. The little kid has an excuse because that's a little kid, but the fucking person that had the gun,
yeah,
caught it on so many levels. Like,
no,
I could just imagine Ireland doing this because she's 6'2", but at the same time knowing her, she would be like, I don't know, and then she'd probably bring it to me or my mom, be like, what's this? So she would actually have a little bit more common sense. She'd be like, I don't know about this.
No, definitely. I mean, the thing is that it's not even about the fact that, you know, the kid fired the gun. That's one part of it.
I do not blame the little kid at all.
The thing is, right, the kid firing the gun, right, fine, is one thing, right? I mean, the irony is that it's a bit of I don't know how to say it. It's like there is such a big issue with gun control in America at the moment. You know, there's so many things they're trying to do to create a better gun control, a better way of using and accessing weapons. But the thing is, this is the kind of incidents that happens that could traumatize someone for their entire life. I mean, you imagine if that 6-year-old accidentally shot someone with the bullet, like the bullet ricocheted
or even
off something in the store, or you know, or if they just showed their mum the gun and accidentally shot it, or one of their siblings, or someone else's kid or something.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, that's just. I mean, they say it's just an accident, but if the gun wasn't there in the first place, then the incident wouldn't even happen.
That would never happen
to begin with.
We would never be talking about this.
Now the thing is, right, there is this side, okay, but there is another side as well. The other side is that, in terms of prosecution, in terms of like liability, you know, like pointing the finger and saying, look, this happened because of this person's fault, right? Do you think there should be some sort of legal action taken against the IKEA brand in Indiana?
Fuck. I mean, yeah, because that could have ended so bad. They are so lucky that did not end up worse than it did. So I think there should be some sort of like lawsuit or like some sort of like something done.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that do you think like people who were there, Patreons that were there, or customers that were there, do you think they would have a legal right to maybe claim something, like sue IKEA for putting them in danger?
I mean, they do, but then I feel like the people that like need to sue them the most is like the family of the little kid.
Yeah.
But then, at the same time, like everybody that was there that day could easily sue and get something.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think it was quite an interesting story when I read about it, and I thought to myself that, you know, like we don't have this issue in the United Kingdom because we have
lucky bastards.
We're not allowed guns over here. I mean, you can have a gun, but we're not legally allowed to have ownership of guns like in the public. You can only have guns at the gun range, and they are very rare and far in between. So the thing is, I mean, this kind of incident happening over here is highly unlikely to happen.
It's very, 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 very rare.
But what I'm thinking, right, is like in the United States, is like there are some states that are more lenient with gun control compared to other states. Do you think there should be? I mean, what is your personal sort of opinion on actual gun control or firearm control?
See, the way I look at it is that as long as you're not using it as to be like a murder or something, and you're just using it, and you just like like keep it in your house in a safe or something, I'm completely fine. But the part that I get dodgy about is when it's like conceal it, like conceal and carry or open carry, because then then at any moment a person that's having a bad day could easily just go somewhere and just start shooting shit up. Like that's when I'm like, they should just make it to where like can only keep it in your house, like in a safe or something.
I mean, this is the thing. I was watching this video the other day on YouTube about this guy who got pulled over by the cops, and because he pulled his gun quicker than the cop did, the cop shit himself, and he goes to the cop, "Get out of your car, turn the engine off, get out of your car, and go home." Because you guys keep pulling me over for no reason. And I just think to myself, like, that's like unnecessary amount of power that someone's gets given. To be able to pull a gun on an officer, and because the officer didn't react quick enough, he took the officer's gun, threw it inside of his SWAT car, and then told the officer to go home. I mean, that's showing like the sort of power hungry that people feel when they have that weapon to hand, and I'm thinking, like, if you're growing up in an in a country where guns are kind of like pretty easily available and readily available, is there any reason why we question when we hear about these mass shootings that happen in the United States? Exodus, what do you think?
I feel like if they took more precautions and like actually like legally getting a gun, even though there's millions of different ways to get weapons onto black market and shit, but but actually legally get a gun, if they take more precautions and more like an extensive background check, there would be a way lower percentage of being some sort of mass shooting.
I mean, do you think just getting rid of the guns altogether is a bad thing then?
I mean, it could be, but at the same time, there's the black market where people can get stuff. So I think if we take guns away, people are gonna find other weapons that they could use to carry out mass murders and shit like that.
I mean, do you think that people do you think like it's just become so norm to have a weapon in America, like a gun, that it's kind of like it's a weird topic to talk about getting rid of those weapons?
It's basically like a fucking amendment by now. Like if we just take them away, the whole fucking country's gonna go berserk.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Americans are fucking crazy. Take it from the American. We're fucking crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, another thing that came to mind was, about having different gun laws in different states and different levels of, one state says this is fine, and another one says it's not fine. Do you think there should be like a regulation to kind of say, look, across the whole country, this is what it should be?
Yeah, I think because having this law in different states, like it makes us seem like we're like even though everybody probably is has different stances on the guns, but it's pretty much like how it used to be a couple years ago, like gay marriage wasn't legal at all, and then slowly some states started to allow it, and now I think the whole country is allowing it.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think
it just seems to make more sense to have everything connected instead of having different places have different things.
I think there's a big difference in terms of the level of harm you can get from smoking weed to firing a weapon.
Yeah.
I mean that's just like from the Kennedy era of him trying to get rid of the drug problem in America. But the more you make something a problem, the bigger the problem
The
becomes. And I'm
more,
just thinking with
yeah, the more
and I'm just
people are
thinking
going
with
to want to
guns.
rebel.
And then I'm just thinking with guns, is it the same thing? Is it like, are we blowing this out of proportion, um, which then makes it become like something which is seen like, oh, this is a problem when there is no problem. It's just, an accident happens and then people overreact. Or is it that there should be a high regulation? Because at the end of the day, guns'
Hmm.
existence, especially in America, the existence of carry on, whether it's concealed or not, is to provide people with, like, citizens with a level of safety, a level of control over their safety. But how safe do you really feel if someone's carrying a weapon, but isn't even engaging its safety mechanism to stop, some random person getting hold of it and using it? I mean,
Uh,
how do we tackle that?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I think the best way to tackle everything is just to like make every state have the same exact gun laws and don't have different states have different laws.
Okay,
That's why
fine.
I'd be like,
So what does that look like though? What would you consider to be safe gun laws?
um, I mean, in my honest opinion, I would just say
Yeah,
like having a gun at home in like a safe or something, but like not actually like
right.
on the person.
I mean, you hear a lot of people, especially in America, who have got weapons. They have like their own. It has like a case, and then they have the
Mhm.
magazine out, and then the single bullet is on its own, and then you have the actual handgun, and then they place that whole thing inside of a safe. But I'm just thinking, like, if you come under attack, if, like, say someone breaks into your home or whatever, they've come ready.
Uh.
They've come already prepared, with probably some sort of weapon or another. By the time you get
Mhm.
that shit together, I mean, you might be dead, right? Or you might have got
I
shot at a couple of
mean,
times.
there are like pistol safes where like you can have it on like your bedside and it takes like fingerprints and you can have like the magazine and all that like inside the same like little like I think it's like maybe 2 by I don't even know the dimensions, but it's like the size of like a PlayStation maybe. And like
Yeah,
and then like you can have that on like your nightstand.
yeah. Okay, so your personal opinion on what gun safety should look like is that they would have the gun like locked up in some sort of something in.
Some sort of safe where it's not like out in the open and it's like not anybody can come get it. Like something that's
Do you
safe.
believe that? So do you think carrying on carry-ons, like someone carrying a weapon on their person, shouldn't be allowed?
It should, but only if they did like a very extensive background and they went through countless hours of like safety training and all that. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna take a lot more work than what it is now to get a gun and all that.
Okay. So you're saying people who would carry on need to have extra training to kind of with gun
Extra
safety.
extra
But
training,
the
yeah.
thing is, right, Exodus, do you feel that maybe people who own guns and maybe carry their gun on them, when like how when you go to learn to drive, you have to like drive a
Mhm.
certain way. The instructor is explaining to you this is how you should drive your gun, your car and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you get you do everything as they say you should do to drive safely on the road. And then all of a
Uh-huh.
sudden you get your license, you get on the road, and then you start doing all this new shit. You like, you want to drive one-handed, you want to drive maybe with your leg out of the window, or you wanna drive with your hand constantly like this around your head, or I don't know. Like the things that they didn't show you, or maybe even the instructor would have said, "Look, if you do this, this is like not being safe." Like you start pulling out in giveaways, or you start not indicating when you're going to turn. Or doing like turns in the road when you're not supposed to turn in the road. So do you not think that maybe with guns it's kind of like the same thing where people get this training, they get this extra training to say, you got to be this kind, they get certified saying they are extra safe with weapons, but then when they get the license, they're just like, I'm just gonna strap this in my jeans. I'm just gonna tape this to my back. Yeah, it's all good. I'm just gonna carry one of those, wallet things to carry the gun in. Do you think that's kind of like what happens?
I mean, yeah, but I don't really know like what a solution there would really be for that. So like other than like
Mm.
completely like instead of completely just getting rid of them, that seems like maybe the safest bet without completely getting rid of them and causing a whole like ruckus in the United States.
Well, the thing is, the other thing you
It's
could
kind of
do
odd
is
because like
they keep the guns, right? But they have to
mm-hmm.
have a refresher course every 6 months, or every year, or every year and a half. Where they have to go back, no training, no like additional lessons or anything. They go back and they tested on their gun safety, and then that kind of like upholds their certification to say that, yeah, they can still carry on a gun. What do you think?
I I didn't even think of that. That honestly seems like a good idea. I did not think of
It's not a
that.
bad idea. Yeah.
It's not.
Because the thing is, even with driving, it's the same thing. Like after a certain amount of time, you can go,
Yeah,
like,
you
if you
gotta
get
go back
caught,
in.
like if you get done for DUIs, or if you get done for speeding, you can actually be sent, rather than losing your license. You can actually be sent to have like a refresher course,
Uh,
which looks at
yeah.
different things.
My mom had to
So
do
I
that
guess
when I was younger.
Yeah, so I guess in that respect, it can kind of like, give people a kick up the arse, and also let them know that, yeah, you've got your license doesn't mean like that's it. You got to stay safe, otherwise you'll lose your license and we'll take your weapons from you. Um.
Hmm.
Anyway, we've got a couple of comments to read out before we carry on, Exodus. We've got a couple of comments. We've got one
Okay.
from Fred. Fred says exactly. It's just wrong. Guns need to be banned everywhere. Yes, I think there should be a court case, but it wasn't necessarily IKEA's fault. But still, something needs to be done. Good. God bless his family. That was an interesting comment, and also he added, "They say that they will sort it out, but countries never do." Uh, what has happened to the world? Fred is concerned. It doesn't. Fred also asked the question what kind of gun it was, but it didn't actually specify what kind of gun it was. All they specified is that it was a handgun, which the owner had a permit to carry, to conceal carry, but that doesn't get away from the fact that, I mean, I think personally the gun owner should be done for something, because the dude didn't even have the safety on, because if it had the safety on, no 6-year-old would know how to take the safety off to then fire the weapon. They would know.
Exactly.
They would try and fire it, but nothing would happen. So
Yeah.
personally, I think the gun owner should face some sort of criminal charge for, undue care and attention, or undue care and safety,
Child
putting
endangerment.
people at risk. Yeah, child endangerment. Yeah, exactly. There should be something there, because that there's no reason why this couldn't have gone a lot worse than what it did. They are super lucky nothing else happened. Also, we had a new guy come on the channel who's left now. P Grant M said, "Weapons. How about using your vacuum cleaner?" Not sure about that comment. Also, he put down, "Guns are gonna be the next slingshots compared to real weapons." Interesting. And also, he put, "Let's talk about something interesting like IKEA furniture. Sounds like a troll is at work, everybody." Also, big shout out to Commander Root and Apple. Apple Bad Apple, for joining us over at twitch.tv.
I
Thank you for
never.
joining us over
Yesterday.
there, guys. Um, Fred also put in the comment, "How are you, T?" And I'm well. Thank you for asking. Just came from an event today. It was an awesome event. And also writes 100%. Before we move on from this topic, if you guys are watching us live or you're watching us on playback, please be sure to drop your comments down below. We'll pass the question off to you guys as well. What do you guys think? What's your takeaway from this particular story? And if there's a top 3 things that you could bullet point or number that could make guns safer, drop them in the comments down below. We'd love to read from you guys what your opinions are and what you guys are thinking. Exodus, is there anything else you wanted to add to this particular story before we move on to the next one?
Just leave your safety on unless you're actually using it. Like, don't be a retard.
Don't be a retard. Safety on, and be safe.
Exactly.
Yes, Fred.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Took the words straight out of his mouth. Right, anyway, we're moving on to the next story. This is story 2 of 3, everybody. This is the second story of the day for you guys today on this late podcast. We've got a story from The Guardian. That's right. And unfortunately, this man has had to come up again in the recap of what's been happening in the past couple of months. And it's to do with, if you remember, we spoke about this a little while ago, about Trump orchestrating a travel ban in the United States, and it seemed to target Muslim minorities at the most. It targeted seven particular countries, which were all Arabian-based countries, which were predominantly Muslim countries, and it had a bit of a backlash in America. There was a lot of campaigns, a lot of people came out to say that he's fucking lost his mind. But there is an update, and I want to talk about the update to that story, and obviously see where people kind of feel about this particular story now. So Trump hails tremendous victory. That's right. So that from that you can tell what happened. After Supreme Court upholds travel ban. So the White House says court upheld authority after justices rules 5-4. Ban was within president's power to craft national security policy. So basically, the travel ban that Donald Trump put in place didn't break any presidential rules. So the U.S. Supreme Court has upheld Donald Trump's travel ban, targeting several Muslim majority countries, though I like to call Muslims minorities, not a majority, because we are not as majority as other races, to be honest with you. In a significant victory for the administration and a blow to the anti-discrimination advocates, in a 5-4 ruling, which is not massive. Okay, when they say 5-4, that means 5 out of 4, like 4 of them out of the 5 voted that it was in its legal remit, which is kind of gives you the idea of the kind of people that he's got in the court system. But anyway, 5 out of 4 ruling handed down on Tuesday. The courts accepted the government's argument that the ban was within the president's power to craft national security policy and his authority to suspend entry of aliens. He calls Muslims aliens. Maybe that's what I should call us from now on, into the United States. He calls anyone who is not a U.S. citizen an alien, which is insane.
He honestly does.
Just remember, when I say all this, he is the president of the United States who's saying this. Yeah, of course you can, Fred. Not a problem at all. Trump hailed the ruling, calling it a tremendous victory for the American people. In a statement, the White House said the Supreme Court had upheld the clear authority of the president to defend the national security of the United States and called the ruling a moment of profound vindication following months of hysterical commentary from the media and democratic politicians. Opponents of the ban have said it is not made the country safer, while singling out Muslims for unfair treatment and violating constitutional protections against discrimination on religious grounds. This hateful policy is a catastrophe of all round. not only for those who simply want to travel, work, or study in the United States, but for those for seeking safety from violence as well. Brian Mace of Amnesty International USA said in a statement, "The Muslim ban bigotry should have been clear to the Supreme Court as it is a Muslim demonized by it." A statement from the Council of American Islamic Relations, CARE, said, "Apparently, everyone but the Supreme Court can see the decision for what it is, an expression of animosity." Even as the court held the ban, Chief Justice John Roberts criticized Trump and emphasized the importance of the principle of religious non-discrimination in the U.S. history. The President of the United States proposes an extraordinary power to speak to his fellow citizens and on their behalf. Robert wrote, "Our president have frequently used that power to espouse the principles of religious freedom and tolerance of which this nation was founded." As that clearly says, it's all about. There's more to this story. You can always read this up. I'm just going to quickly finish up on this story at the bottom here, which is while earlier versions of Trump's travel ban identified suspended all refugee admissions to the U.S., the president signed an executive order in October that resumed the processing of refugees. In doing so, Trump also called for a 90-day review of the program for 11 countries, most of them Muslim majority, which are deemed high risk by his administration. So that is the meat of the bones. If you guys want to read this story in more detail, you can always check it out on Google. It's easy enough to find. But the issues that came from this story really was, is Trump actually trying to ban Muslims from the country? I mean, I can tell you this much from a Muslim's perspective, I feel like he is. But, I don't have my own personal opinion. I just have my own takeaway, which is I don't understand how he got voted into office. Okay, that's what I don't get. Okay, what happened, America? How did you let this happen?
I didn't vote.
How the hell did you let a businessman? I mean, he's a good businessman, don't get me wrong. I mean, you've got to be a good businessman to actually win the president's seat as a business billionaire, I mean, the dude took a pay cut to become the president of the United States. What the fuck? I mean, he only earns like $250,000 by being the president of the United States when he was earning billions being the CEO of Trump International. So there's bigger things here that's going on than just a travel ban. I don't really understand the need for a travel ban because, to be honest with you, like we said in Monday's podcast that we had to do in replacement of last Friday, is everyone in America is a foreigner. Everyone in America is technically an immigrant, except for the Indians who lived there before, originally, if there's any left. Everybody else is actually an immigrant in the country and technically are all aliens. So, is he calling himself an alien? I don't know. This is an interesting one. But, I mean, the thing is, I think, the way that the travel ban reads, and this is the other reason why I am not planning in any near future, whether now or in the immediate future, while he's in power, I'm definitely not coming to America. I haven't been to America since 9/11, because everything just went weird after that. I mean, we did one trip after 9/11. And never again, I mean, literally, being singled out in a crowd just because of my color skin and the beard on my face was enough to put me off for life. And it's not like I came poor. I came with plenty of dough in my pocket, and I already had my hotel booked and everything, but it wasn't good enough because they said, "No, sir, you're here to blow up another building." And I'm like, God damn it, I'm not terrorist. But anyway, That's my takeaway from it. I don't like Donald Trump. If you guys didn't hear by my tone, I'm not left. I'm not right. I just hate politicians, full stop. Politicians, personally, in my opinion, are people who are there to take advantage of a situation and then to create a fictitious thing that then drives people to be enemies with each other and then make them vote for someone to be their champion. That's what I think politicians do. They get paid to do absolutely nothing. That's my personal takeaway. That's what I personally think. We'll pass the question off to Mr. Exodus D and jump into this conversation with him. Exodus, what's your personal takeaway? Did you remember this story that we talked about a little while ago?
Very vaguely. I try to forget about anything about Donald Trump to be real.
I mean,
I just want to state this. I did not vote. I had nothing to do with this. I saw an ad today on YouTube saying that we need to impeach Trump. That's 100% legitimate.
Fred, I will explain at the end of the podcast how to become a guest, okay? Sorry, Exodus, carry on.
Anyways, I think him targeting the Muslims just makes us Americans seem like we're still like scared of the Muslims for what they did. When in all honesty, it's just like the actual terrorists. Like, I'm fine with any other Muslim as long as they're not like a legitimate terrorist.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the thing is, right? The thing is, Muslims have said worldwide, okay, anyone who commits an act of terrorism can no longer be called a Muslim, okay? Because you can't go and kill innocent people who've done nothing wrong to you personally. If someone attacks me, I'm well within my rights to attack them back as a Muslim person.
Yeah.
Okay. No one done shit. Okay. There was no need. But the thing is, we all know there's so many conspiracy theories around 9/11. Anyway, we won't delve into that. We'll save that for another.
We won't go into that today.
When we've got nothing else to talk about. But the thing is, holding one religious sort of one religious factor as the guilty party is just, and I blame the media for it, because if the media hasn't jumped on this shit and just said it's Muslim, no one would even give a shit about. I mean, I've been in the UK all my life. I've never ever done anything, even where I live. Even my friends were like, "Why is this guy just so crazy about Muslims?" And so many of my friends in America, they were like, "Dude, I don't understand what's happening. Okay, I know you. I even have friends over here that I know that are Muslims and stuff." And it was just out of the ordinary. And I just think to myself, like, with this travel ban, all he's doing is creating more division amongst other people. It's creating more divisions within people in America to have something to hate, to have an enemy they can clearly see. Because obviously the women dress a certain way, the men always have a beard on their face and also dress a certain way sometimes. And that singles people out. It targets people. It's like what they did to African Americans back in the day. Now they're doing it to Muslims. I don't understand. You know, why does it always have to have a target? Originally, during the revolution period during the United States, the target was the Indians. The Indians were the problem. Even though they were raping their women, they were killing their land, killing the animals, killing the fucking men. They were seen as the problem. And and even now they regret it. They say, "Oh, you know what we did back then was so bad." Then the slave trade, same shit. It was African Americans, African people. They're gonna be washing my floors and wiping my ass and shit like that. And I just think to myself, now it's the Muslims' turn. And I'm just thinking, who's next? That's all I think about. Who could possibly be next? Anyway, sorry, Exodus, for jumping in there. What else do you want to add to this story?
I just think, like, I don't know. It's hard because, like, yeah, I'm American and I should know more about this, but honestly, I don't pay attention to politics because I honestly don't give two fucks about it.
Yeah.
Like
No, and it's because it's not important, Exodus. It's because it doesn't actually directly affect you. Because you may walk about in California and find other Muslims are there, and I know there's plenty of Muslims in California, and they've
oh
never
yeah,
done anything.
I have a friend that's Muslim that lives
Yeah,
here.
and he'll just be like you. He'll eat, he'll drink, he'll piss, he'll shit. You know, he might go to the mosque, he might pray every so often, but he'll still go to the beach. He'll still be checking out girls. He'll still be talking about girls. He'll still be buying shit from the store, and they're just and people who actually know other people who are Muslim, they don't see this weirdness, but other
I
people
don't.
but that's the thing. This is, and then you get your president telling you actually they're aliens who are trying to invade the country, and you're
He
like,
thinks anybody that's not in America is an alien.
I know, it's
Like
insane.
if they weren't born here or if they're not white, they're aliens
Yeah,
for him.
yeah, and that's the other thing as well. That they have to be born there. Like they couldn't have been. They're not someone who got a green card. That's not allowed. They're still aliens in his eyes. They're still counted as aliens. You gotta be born, bred American, and then you're American. You know. And I'm just thinking to myself, dude, how are people
He needs
taking
to
this
calm
guy
the fuck
seriously?
down. He needs
How are
to
they
calm the
taking him
fuck down.
seriously?
I don't know. I don't pay attention. I don't give a fuck about anything.
Mm.
Like honestly, sometimes I wish I was like in another fucking country so I don't have to deal with this shit.
It's insane. And the thing is, the amount of people. I mean, even the other day, do you remember? Was you with us, Exodus? Was it on the PS3 that we had that guy who was a Trump supporter, and I kept saying Tramp, and he was getting really angry about it? Do you remember? Oh no, that was on the PS4.
I was gonna say if that was last Sunday, I wasn't here.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't there
I
last
just
Sunday.
think I just think I don't know. I mean, I just think Trump is just he's too much. He really is. I just wish I did not even know. You know what? Before he was president, he had that the show, The Apprentice, and
Yeah.
even on that show, I thought he was an absolute dickhead, and I thought, no way is this guy running for president, and I knew he would win because Arnold Schwarzenegger won California mayor. You know, there's no way this guy's not going to win. But I just thought people would see beyond the blazar. They would see beyond the facade. They would see beyond his dumbness, his retardation. They would see the comb over and be like, no, this guy ain't going to make America great again. But no, he got voted into power. I cannot believe it. Even till today, I'm shocked.
Apparently, I'm not sure if he was joking, but apparently Kanye's running in 2020.
Wow. Well, we know what happened to Kanye
I'm
West
not
anyway.
sure if he was joking about that.
Well, we know what happened to Kanye West anyway. You know, the guy's completely messed up. He thinks he's Jesus, for God's sake. I mean, come on. I mean,
I'm not doing interviews. He was doing interviews. He was like, I want to repeat you. I already told you who I thought I was. My God. That's such a fucking funny clip.
Oh man, I'm telling you.
Anyway,
but the thing is, I mean, is there anything else you want to add to this particular travel ban thing? I mean, what was your personal sort of thought about the actual travel ban in the first place?
it should never happen. Honestly, that seems like he's just targeting people. Like that just seems like fucked up.
I mean, he's stopping your favorite YouTuber from coming to America. You know that. I mean, I'd love to come to California. You know, he's stopping me from coming there.
I always said fuck D4. I was actually said fuck D4. I meant fuck Trump. That's what I meant. God damn it. There's too many P's. Too many P's to me. Too many.
Oh God. Anyway, we've got a couple of comments to read out for you guys
from
Fred. Fred has put on there that he hates Trump. He also put can he be a guest? And I'll explain. And what else did he write? He said it's a very political podcast. It is a little bit. We're gonna lighten things up. Don't worry. I'm sorry for interrupting. Yep. Okay.
You're all good, Fred. We
Well, Fred, if
appreciate
you
the
watch
comment.
the rest
We
of the
appreciate
podcast
the
tomorrow,
comment.
you'll see how you become a guest on the pod. Okay, actually, you know what? We'll do it as an
Wait,
intermission. Okay, so everybody, Fred's been
quick
asking me about this, how you
break.
can be a guest on the show. So, before we explain how you can be a guest, let me just quickly pass the question off to you guys. What do you guys think about this travel ban when you heard about it originally? Do you think that Trump is targeting Muslims, or do you think that we're just reading too deeply into it? Also, do you know a Muslim, and is he a terrorist? Let me know in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, whether you're watching us live or whether you're watching us on playback. We'd love to read those comments, whether they're live or whether they're after. Please be sure to let us know what you think about this story or the story we already covered in the beginning part of today's podcast. Anyway, this is a quick little intermission for you guys. I'm gonna be explaining something which one of the viewers has asked, which is Fred and Thegs. He's asked, can I explain how you can become a guest on the podcast? So I say this at every single podcast at the end. So I'll explain it right now, so you guys who are watching can find out. Basically, in order to be able to become a guest on the podcast, because the podcast guests that are featured are not like special people. They're not people who are like famous or anything like that. They are my fans. They are people who are subscribers on the channel. And they basically, I like to give people that platform to be able to come on and tell their own story, to be able to tell what they feel about these different things, because I find that, you know, people who are already famous or who already are well known and are in these shows, that's great and everything, but what does the people think? What's the reality of that? So the thing is, I always invite the guests as the subscribers, because I think you guys are the best people. This is why I invite you on the games. This is why when we do the live streams, you guys are invited in, is because you guys are the best, because you guys give the real sort of foot soldier on the ground. This is what I think is happening. So this is why we do it. So basically, to become a guest, all you need to do is be a subscriber on this channel called the T4 Army. You got to be a subscriber on my main channel called Tamim25. You got to leave a like on this video, and this is only for the YouTube lot, by the way. And then you got to have Discord. You need to have Discord on either your phone, your tablet, or your PC. And then you've got to be able to find our Discord chat, which is called the Tamim25 hashtag 5. Was it 50? 1 second, let me tell you. Wait. It's
hold on.
The fuck? Copy it. No, not copy.
Hashtag 5704.
Yeah, so it's Tamim25 hashtag 5704. You need to search for that on Discord. It's capital T and then and then obviously AMYM 25, no spaces, hashtag 5704. You find that on Discord, and it will show the T4 Army chat. All you got to do is click on that chat, join, and it will put you into the chat, and then you'll be invited as a guest. It's very simple. People who are on as guests on the podcast, they have special privileges that not everybody gets. So Tazzy is currently yellow. He gets invited in as a VIP, and if you get selected as a guest, you'll be also selected as a VIP. Discord is completely free of charge. It doesn't cost you a penny to download from the App Store, so you can download it onto your phone, and then you need to make an account. Once you've made an account, you need to verify your account. Once you've verified your account, it will let you search for me on Discord. And that's it. And then all you have to do is click on the podcast, and then it will let your voice be heard. You set up your voice, whether it's you're using headphones. We prefer you wearing headphones, by the way, so it cancels out the background noise. And then you can be a guest. Now, if you're on Twitch and you want to be a guest, it's also extremely simple. On Twitch, all you have to do is follow us on twitch.tv, and also not forgetting to subscribe when the subscribe button appears, which is going to be coming very soon, hopefully. And then, again, you've got to do the same thing. You've got to have Discord on your phone or tablet or computer, and then you've got to find the Discord chat and do exactly the same thing. That's it. And then once you've got the Discord chat, and once you're in the T4 Army chat, you just put a little message every single Friday or on a Thursday even, and just put on there T4. I'd like to be a guest, and then I'll put you as VIP for that week's guest. If there's too many guests, I always select a maximum of 3 guests, but we always have a minimum of 1. 9 times out of 10, though we have had a couple of podcasts where there's been no one here except me, but you guys have been here, which has been great. So that's how you become a guest on the podcast if you would like to join. Very, very easy. I know.
I
How
encourage
easy
people
have I
to
made
come
it?
in.
Yeah, exactly. Come in and give your opinion. It makes the show so much better when you guys give your opinions. Right. Anyway, that's that story. We move on to the last and final story. That's right. We've arrived at the last story, and we're 1 hour and 1 minute into the podcast. Jesus, can't believe how long it's taken us to get through those 2 stories alone. And now I realize why I only had 3 stories for today's podcast. I was saying to Exodus D, like maybe we could have an extra topic because there's only 3 topics, but it makes a lot of sense now why there's only 3. Anyway, so this was a story which was put out by Polygon, and this story actually blew up on YouTube. It didn't actually blow up on the rest of the internet until afterwards, but basically you'll get the gist of it shortly. We've got a video to play in this clip as well, so you guys be able to turn up your headphones and listen to that. But the title is RiceGum called out over insulting Hong Kong travel vlog. I can't understand why anyone would do this. This was reported by Julia Alexander on June the 27th, 2018. And this is a story from Polygon. So there was a video here before, which has now been taken down by YouTube. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's terms of service. This was actual RiceGum's vlog that he did when he went to Hong Kong, and it was actually removed by YouTube because of its content. And sometimes I wish I had done this a bit earlier, because then you guys would have seen what shit he got up to in Hong Kong. But don't fret. People did plenty of reviews on this shit, and some of it is still around. Anyway, let's read the story for you guys, so you get an. Actually, should we play the video first? Let's play the video first. We'll play the video first, everybody, and then we will read through the story. This will give you an idea of what we're dealing with. So this is a full screen for you guys. So be sure to head up your headphones so you guys can hear this loud and clear. I'm gonna watch with you. That's right.
Oh my god. So happy I'm getting a new phone on Sunday.
Anyway, that's the story. We're not gonna watch anymore because RiceGum is so annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. It's super, super annoying. Anyway, that was him reacting to what happened after. Wow, the amount of people that left the channel because I played that video is insane. Oh, did I play it without audio? Oh shit. Okay, that was totally my bad, everybody. It did have audio. Never mind. Anyway, let's carry on. RiceGum is a YouTuber provocateur who participates in clickbait culture. Creates series like Strip Fortnite. What an idiot. Anyway, starts feuds with other creators and is known for saying outlandish things, but a new video pushed enough buttons to earn the attention of international media and other creators who accuse him of disrespecting Chinese people and culture. Why I left the Clout House, I'm sorry, and Rice Gum and his friends on a quick trip to Hong Kong. After a quick hotel room tour, the pair go on the call to Chinese, meet disgusting, inquire where they can go to each other dog and cat. Uh, ask local people, where are all the hoes and bitches at? Inappropriately touch strangers' hands and aggressively ask a random people on the street if they fuck with rice gum. A common phrase used in North America. Multiple stories of Chinese outlets and a number of vloggers have called out rice gum for his disrespectful behavior, drawing parallels to Logan Paul's infamous vlog series in Japan. Full Fling Fang, one of the more popular foreign vloggers based in China, addressed the video's issues in his own vlog. Whenever YouTubers publish disrespectful content like RiceGum's vlog, it reflects poorly on other foreigners living in the country. Full Fling Man, why has he got such a shit name? Said, I looked at the comments under the vlog and most of them very much did not like it. I have actually seen a lot of foreigners like this, and a lot of haters think this is how I act like, although I think I'm pretty respectful for Chinese culture and I love living in China. A video like this is giving foreigners living here a bad name. I don't think it matters if you're a local or foreigner, or if you're just traveling. Everyone should respect the locals, and they should also respect the local culture. Interesting comment. Right, anyway, so there was two videos. There was this one here. There was this one here where these two people reacted to RiceGum's video. They're both vloggers in living in China, and basically they are a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? They're a little bit pissed that vloggers like RiceGum come across to China or even any other country, and the way that they behave is just so disrespectful that the people just then label everybody else that's over there as a foreigner as just as disrespectful, or they see them like they start to judge them prior to knowing them because of what these other YouTubers are like. So this hit the headlines over in the media in China, and basically it was even on Chinese news.
about this. This guy about RiceGum disrespecting the Chinese people during his vlog visit, and to the extent that people were actually threatening to kill RiceGum, who were in China, and said if he ever comes over here again, he won't leave. He'll be dead. So we learned a really important lesson from Logan Paul, and that is whenever you visit a foreign land, always go there with some understanding of what the people are like, some understanding of, try not to be so controversial that it could end up killing everybody else on YouTube. So what does this idiot RiceGum decide to do? He decides to roll over to Hong Kong, do exactly the same thing that Logan Paul did in his vlog. The only bit he left out was finding a dead guy in the suicide forest. But everything else, you could pretty much watch the videos side by side, and they are pretty identical. I mean, literally, Logan does some trolling. He does some trolling. Logan says some inappropriate shit. He says some inappropriate shit. And it just continues like that. And I just think to myself, did RiceGum do this because of the amount of views that Logan Paul's vlog got? And the amount of kind of like, because in this industry, there is no such thing as bad publicity, really. It just depends on how you absorb that publicity to then turn it into a positive. Because someone can get caught out for doing some weird shit. The only thing I think you probably couldn't get away with is if like you were like an abuser, or you raped someone, or you killed somebody. I think those things you can't really live down, but things like this is just going to drive traffic to your channel, to your content, and then make people want to watch it more and more and more and more. So I think in that respect, it's quite a sad thing to see what happened. Considering you think like from the backlash that Logan Paul had from his vlog in Japan, you think RiceGum would have learned something considering he's Chinese himself. But it seems like that's not the case. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys this before, but I absolutely hate RiceGum. I think he's the most revolting person on YouTube. His content is so weird. It doesn't make any sense. I don't even know how he got so big. His diss tracks are so like retarded. It's unreal. And just him in general, he's just such a weird looking guy. His hair is so strangely long, and just his expressions. You got people like Vanos who seems so nice, and then you got someone like RiceGum who is so vile. They're like the complete opposite. So that's my personal takeaway from it: is RiceGum should be assassinated by Chinese mafia. Just a joke, by the way, just in case YouTube decided to take this video down. Anyway, that's my opinion. That's my takeaway from it. I thought, these bigger YouTubers would use their brain and realize that when they do stuff like this, it doesn't affect them. It doesn't actually affect them directly. It affects all the smaller creators. It's us that feel the full force of whatever things that YouTube decide to implement after they do something so dumb. Because the bigger YouTubers, they can just like say, well, I'll just do this now instead. We can't do that, okay? Because we're the small content creators who pretty much make up most of YouTube's fucking money, and we're the ones that get screwed the most. So anyway, that's my takeaway from it. We'll pass the question off to Exodus D. Exodus! What is your thought on in Hong Kong?
Fuck. I think he should have learned from what Logan Paul did in Japan, and like what most people should do when they're going to another country is they should learn about like things that would be respectful to do in that country, so if they know like what to do, and then they look up the disrespectful things, so they know like, okay, I shouldn't do that, and they should It's just like it's pretty. Like the way I think of it is like it's like freaking like going to like a museum or something. Like you have to be like as respectful as possible.
The thing is, right? I can understand to some degree. I can give a little bit of a pass, I guess, to Logan because he's a white guy, American white guy, and he looks like a surfer dude. So normal description of a surfer dude who's white is like they're pretty dumb. So you could kind of give him a pass, right? But RiceGum, he's actually Chinese himself.
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
So the thing for me is like, is it a put on? Is this just like a show? Did he do this on like it must be on purpose? Surely he has a mum and dad and relatives who I'm pretty adamant would bitch slap him if he acted like this at their house. Yet some weird reason he thought like he could pull the wool over people's eyes in Hong Kong when he's Chinese himself. Like the people must be looking at him thinking, dude, you're one of us. Why are you behaving like a retard? You know what's acceptable and you know what's not acceptable. You know, that's
But
what
yeah,
I
he
got
does.
from it, Exodus.
Yeah,
I just
I
thought it was a
don't
bit of a
know.
put on. It's like saying you're a black person and you go to a black neighborhood and then you behave like as if you're white in that black neighborhood. You start saying like, you know, oh, so what's the ghetto life like? You know, it's like, dude, you're black. What's wrong with you? You probably grew up
You
here.
should know this.
You know this. So I mean, I mean, this is not really much of a story. It's just more like giving me a chance to roast RiceGum because I fucking hate that guy.
Hey, any excuse, right? Any excuse.
That's right. It's a platform for me to do it on. Okay, I use the vlog. I use the podcast in any way, shape, or form, at my disposal. But I mean, the thing is, Exodus. Do you think? I just thought to myself like all the backlash that happened with Logan Paul and obviously the onslaught for all the smaller creators on YouTube.
Mhm.
Nothing really happened to RiceGum except for the video being taken down. Do you think there should have been more for what he did?
I mean, yeah, because like I feel like even if even if it's like a small YouTuber or a big YouTuber, they should just be like they should be treated equal no matter what. Like no matter like what the situation is, if the situation is similar, they
Yeah.
should they should have it be the same consequences as the other person that did it.
I mean, the thing is, what would you consider to be a good consequence?
For him, maybe fuck. It's hard to tell because like because for me, I would say what they do with Logan Paul is just take away like his like advertisements,
Hmm.
and then maybe like give him like a little like temporary suspension on his account.
That's
Maybe
interesting.
like a week or so.
I mean, I don't know whether it should be more. It should be even more serious than that because he's Chinese himself. So therefore, you know, it's he's putting it on even more. He's being dumb on purpose even more. Um, you know, he even says things like he's reading the comments and he's like, you know, I don't understand this Ching Chow Mein thing, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
dude, that is so bad because you're Chinese. That's like me taking the piss out of Arabic writing when I'm Muslim and we read Arabic text. It makes absolutely no sense why I would do that. So I just, I don't know what. I just feel like it should have been much worse than what it did. But instead, it seemed to turn into a positive. Like somehow he turned this around, and it's made him even bigger than what he already was. And I'm just like, how? Why, God? Why YouTube? Why are you promoting this crap? Um. Anyways, is there anything else you want to add to this story about RiceGum? How do you feel about RiceGum? Do you watch his content?
Not really. No, I
Have
don't
you
really
ever
watch them that
seen?
much.
Have you ever
I
seen a
have,
RiceGum video?
I have, but I didn't really like it to be honest.
What do you What did you think of it?
I didn't really like it because like I don't know. It just seems very like it seems the way like his videos are edited and stuff. It makes it seem like he's like trying to target like little kids.
Right. So it's a bit like a hierarchy thing. Like you feel like you're being
Yeah,
talked down on.
yeah.
I mean, why do people subscribe to him? Why are they attracted by his content, do you think?
Uh, maybe if I had to guess, probably because like he like wastes a lot of money and all that. But who knows?
But the thing is, right? Why did you click on the video that you watched for him?
Because my friends kept on linking it in our Skype chat.
What was the video?
Uh, it
Do you remember it?
was it was a diss track on somebody. I think it was
Right,
an,
the
I think it was
infamous.
a I think it was a diss track on one of the sidemen.
Right. Okay, so I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, is there anything else you want to add to that Exodus? I don't know how to have a conversation about rice gum. To be honest with you,
I
it's so
don't really
frustrating.
have I
It's
don't
so
have anything to
frustrating.
add.
Do you fuck with rice gum? So anyway, I'll pass the question off to you guys. You've heard my opinion. You've heard Exodus's opinion. It's not really the best part, to be honest with you, because rice gum is super boring. And I just think one, he's copying Logan Paul. Two, he's Chinese already, so he should know how to behave in China, in Hong Kong. I mean, he should know how to behave around Chinese people. Um, and I just think he put it on. I think this was just a show. He just put it on, and he wanted to get this kind of backlash. But the problem is that all of us, tiny creators, we all feel this crap. He doesn't feel any of it. It's us that feel it. But anyway, I'll pass the question off to you guys. What do you guys think? Are you a Rice Gum watcher? Do you fuck with Rice Gum? Do you like his content? Or do you feel that he's just another Chinese man that should be in a restaurant? Let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think? Whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching us on playback, let us know what you're thinking. Whether it's this story, the last story, or the story that we begin the podcast with, let us know what you feel in those comments down below. Anyway, that's the end of today's podcast. I want to say a massive thank you to obviously the infamous Exodus D, Tazzy, for joining us over at discord.com as a guest. Thank you, Tazzy, for joining us.
Yep. Any day, feller.
And also, obviously, a big shout out goes out to the guys for joining us in the actual podcast live. Big shout out goes out to the guys over at youtube.com, and a massive shout out goes out to the guys over at twitch.tv, smashing it as always. And talking about Twitch, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for watching us over at Twitch when I made the announcement over a month ago, asking everybody to watch me over at Twitch rather than watching me over at YouTube. You guys have actually got me my first hit on Twitch. We've only got 2 more hits to do, and we actually will get the sub button over at twitch.tv. So massive congratulations to all of you guys for helping make this a possibility, because I don't think it would be possible, obviously, without you guys and your support and your continuous help in trying to help me grow this channel and make it something which is a success. You are all wonderful people, whether you watch me on YouTube, whether you watch me on Twitch. I am forever grateful and will probably always be in your debt for what you guys have been able to help me achieve on both platforms. I mean, we've gone past 800 followers on Twitch, which I thought would never ever happen, to be honest with you. And also, obviously, we've got to do a massive shout out to the sponsors. As always, without them, this wouldn't be possible. Big shout out goes out to Cinch Gaming, City Keys, and not forgetting those infamous people over at Razor.com. And also, let's not forget the T4 Army merch people. If you guys want to snag yourself something awesome from the merch store, this is the time to do it. Head over there right now and see what we got available for you guys in all shapes and sizes. And also, not forgetting the discount codes that come out every so often. So be sure to snag yourself an offer, a deal before they run out. And also, stocks are limited, so be sure to grab yourself something very, very soon. Not forgetting, obviously, g2a.com over at twitch.tv. keeping it lit, keeping it live with those AAA titles on the cheap. And also, not forgetting G4G and Streamlabs over at keeping those donations lit, live, and streamlined straight to the donations hotline. So if you guys ever want to donate to the live stream, you know where you can do it. You can do it right over here over a G4G or Streamlabs. Links in the description, as always, down below. Be sure to scroll down there because there's plenty of information about a load of other stuff that I'm sure you guys were completely unaware of. But be sure to have a look. There's all types of information down there where you guys can get involved in the live streams. You can get involved with the Discord chat. You can get involved all types of crazy ways. And also, just to add something, if you guys are running out of PS Plus, or you're running out of Xbox Live, or you're running out of the Nintendo Switch online gaming thing that you can purchase, you can get it from CD Keys. It's the cheapest place you'll be able to buy it, and if you use the link in the description, you get additional discount. That's right. So be sure to grab yourself something awesome from there as well. And that's it. That's what we're going to end today's show. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody. As always, we'll be back tomorrow on GTA 5 on the PS4. That's right. We're here live. So be sure to join us for tomorrow's little stream. It's going to be sick. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be lit, as always. So be sure to join us for some exclusive gameplays on GTA 5. And if you guys want to join us, be sure to subscribe and follow us if you're watching on either YouTube or Twitch. That's the only way you can get in. And then send your friend requests across, and I'll be sure to add you. Again, descriptions to all that is down below. And that's it. We'll see you guys on tomorrow's live stream for GTA 5. But until then, guys, as always, stay safe, stay awesome, and peace. Oh, I didn't prepare this properly today.